Think you're ready for Civvie Street? Let's talk numbers. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Savvy Squaddie. In this video, I'm breaking down what I would need to earn on Civvie Street to match my lifestyle now and keep my future on track with those hefty pension contributions. The numbers are surprising. But you might ask, why bother with this? Simple. Leaving the forces for many isn't just a job switch. It can be a total life overhaul. Your salary is only half the story. Subsidised housing, an amazing pension, free perks, you don't really see their value until they're gone. This exercise shows you what you'd really need to earn to not feel the pinch. Of course, there are plenty of reasons why people leave the forces, and many will be willing to take the financial hit in order to see improvements elsewhere in their life. I don't dispute that. This video is purely looking at the financial implications and will show how most of you watching will be financially worse off overall by leaving the armed forces. This is also based off my current situation and will vary for everyone. The final numbers stated should be used as guidelines and of course won't be 100% due to the ever-evolving market conditions and complexity around our pension. But there is real value to be had with you running through the numbers yourself and completing a similar exercise. I am currently working on a calculator to hopefully make this simple for you all to do. So, back in April 2022, I made a similar video. At the time, I was a corporal on a salary of £33,200, married, living in SFA with one kid. We were a single income household. I worked out that I would need a gross salary of over £49,000 in Civvie Street. Anything less and would have to cut back to stay within our means. Fast forward 3 years to March 2025, I'm now a sergeant on £42,510, still married, still in SFA, but now with 2 kids. We are a 2-income household. My wife's gross salary is £29,765, making our total household gross income £72,275. Quite a difference 3 years makes. After tax, my net monthly income is £2,840, and after her student loan and pension contribution, my wife brings home £1,900 a month, and we also receive £170 per month in child benefit. In total, a net monthly income of £4,910. Now you might think we're rolling in it, but with 2 kids not in school and 2 adults working full-time jobs, very quickly a lot of that extra money soon disappears on nursery. Pretty much my wife's take-home pay squares the nursery bill away. But I digress. Let's get into some numbers. So, when it comes to needs, we are spending about £400 per month on food, up from £180 in 2022. Inflation is a bitch. Utilities are £150 per month, but we don't pay a water bill, one of the benefits of service-provided accommodation. Speaking of, our 3-bed terraced SFA with an attached garage costs £187 for rent, £31 for the garage, and £145 for the contribution in lieu of council tax or SILOT. Totaling £363 per month, and that comes straight out of my pay before it hits the bank. Living in one of the UK's priciest areas, that's bloody amazing, and it's a huge chunk of why my Civvie Street income would need to jump. But there's another perk I forgot to mention last time, something all serving personnel get, even if you're not in SFA, so stay tuned, it's a biggie. Our nursery bill is currently £1,900 a month. Other needs like insurance, broadband, the car come to about £500. Total needs, including SFA charges, hit £3,313 per month. Saving investments in debt repayment or SIDS are £600 a month, leaving just under £1,000 for wants, entertainment, eating out, shopping, etc. We're lucky to have that, but it's mostly thanks to that subsidised housing. Privately renting here, well, it's a different story. So, what would I need to earn on Civvie Street to keep this lifestyle? Needs stayed the same except accommodation and adding a water bill. Water averages £50 a month locally, council tax is £164, a bit more than SILOT, and renting a similar 3-bed terraced house with a garage, front and back garden is around £1,800 a month. That's £1,651 more than my current £363, a massive jump. We couldn't afford that without downsizing or moving to a cheaper area, both hitting our lifestyle. But it doesn't stop there. SIDS stay at £600, but new wants start to creep in. A gym membership, £27 a month, not free like now. The dentist, that's not free either, even with the NHS. Up on screen now are the costs with NHS and private depending on what you are getting done. You can see it can add up, especially if you have dental issues. This will obviously vary for everyone, but I'll go off what I've had done this year, which was a checkup and a filling, so about £100 per year, with the NHS, although I am being a bit optimistic thinking I would get an NHS dentist. Prescriptions are another thing we might take for granted. Again, something you must dish out for on Civvie Street. Currently it's £9.99 per item, not per prescription. So I'm going to give this about £30 per year, but it could be more or less in your situation. Something I don't currently benefit from, but will as of September, is wraparound childcare. Whilst I'm not including it in this calculation, I thought it was still worth a mention for those of you who are using it. This is funding for before and after school clubs for kids. Our local school charges around £300 per month for just one child. If I was in Civvie Street, I might still require these clubs, but it's highly unlikely my employer would offer to pay it. So, from my wants, that's an extra £38 per month. For ease, I've just divided the annual dentist and prescriptions amount by 12. That's an extra £1,689 a month to live as I do now, but as a civvie. Many don't even take that home. Your numbers will vary, cheaper area, more dental visits, etc. But do run them yourself. Rightmove and Zoopla can show local rents, and my free budget spreadsheet linked below can help you track your expenses. So, our net income jumps from £4,910 to £6,600 a month. But this is about my civvie salary. So, subtract my wife's £1,900 and the £170 child benefit, leaving £4,530 net. My current £42,510 salary gives me £2,840 after tax. So, what gross salary nets me £4,530 per month? Using a salary calculator, I would need £75,500 gross, more than our current household income, equivalent to a major on increment level 8. Realistically, I am not walking into that straight out of the forces, such is the nature of subsidised living. If you rent privately or own, your gap won't be as big. But there's one benefit we all get, the pension. It's non-contributory, we pay nothing, and the MOD chucks in 43.8% of our salary. Civvie pensions, on the other hand, well, there's a minimum 8% contribution, 3% from your employer, 5% from you, which is 4% after tax relief. Some employers match higher, but it's rare. 40% stick to the 3% minimum contribution, whilst 33% match fully. This is something to ask at your job interview. The pension should absolutely be factored in when looking at total remuneration because it will affect you on Civvie Street. It's simply not an apples to apples comparison if you just look at the salary figures between two jobs without also accounting for the other benefits, primarily the pension, especially since those benefits can significantly impact your financial security and quality of life up to and after retirement. If we just take my sergeant salary of £42,510, the MOD contributes £18,619 per year to my pension, which is insane. You will not get that anywhere else. So, even if we take away the subsidised accommodation element, my total pay package is £61,129. But for the purposes of this exercise, we'll include the subsidised accommodation element. So, with a gross salary of £75,500, how much extra do I need to earn to have a total pension contribution of £18,619 per year? You might think just add that on and Bob's your uncle, but sadly it's not that simple. After all, in Civvie Street, I as the employee contributes part of my salary and my employer chips in too. So we would need to work out the personal contribution rate, which would still leave me with £75,500 gross, and an employer contribution rate which, when added together, equals £18,619. Now, we could use the extreme of my employer only contributing the legal minimum amount of 3% of my salary. If this was the case, then I would need to earn £91,378. The 3% employer contribution would be £2,741 per year, and my personal contribution towards the pension would be £15,878, or about 17.4% of my salary. However, the reality is, if I was in a job earning £75,500 a year, the chances my employer would be doing the minimum contribution is pretty slim. So instead, I'll assume my employer will match my personal contribution up to 10%. Pretty generous. In this scenario, I would need to earn £85,563. At 10%, my employer contributes £8,556 per year, and that leaves me contributing £10,063, or around 11.8% of my salary, to hit that total £18,619 pension contribution. You can see that this number will vary differently depending on the contribution makeup. Realistically, at this time, I would not be walking into a job that pays me this. As a family, we would have to change our lifestyle, a smaller home, move somewhere cheaper, perhaps a reduction of our work hours and reduce the kids' nursery hours, and so on. And all the while, I would not be getting anywhere near the amount of pension contribution that the MOD offers. We don't see the benefit now, but a pension is just a delayed income, and you'll be thankful for that 43.8% contribution when you hit retirement. So to round it all up, as a married sergeant on £42,510 living in a 3-bed terraced SFA with a garage, 2 kids and full-time nursery, one of the most expensive places to live in the UK, I would need to earn £85,563 in order to live and benefit exactly as I do now. Of course, the numbers for you will vary, but run the exercise, find out what that number is. Only then will you truly be able to understand the value of your total pay package. That is the number you should use to compare against the total pay package on offer in Civvie Street. By only comparing just the advertised salary, you're missing the bigger picture. It's not just about what hits your bank account each month, it's the housing, the pension, the stability, and all the extras that come with the job. So when you're weighing up life outside the military, don't just chase a headline figure. Look at what you need to match everything you've got now. I hope this video has opened your eyes like it has mine. I didn't expect it to be this high, but our pension is extremely valuable, and many people just don't realise how fortunate they are to have access at such a young age to the best workplace pension currently available on the market. Stop doing apples to oranges comparisons and start doing apples to apples. Have I left anything out? What's your number? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. If you liked what you just saw, please hit the subscribe button up there, and if you want to see some more videos, click over there. See you soon.